So here we are with geometry surface area. This is test 23. It's the second time we've seen this concept, 22.1. One of the keys is being able to see the different sides of these shapes. And so I'm going to encourage you, again, to use some colors. Use a highlighter. If you want to bring color pencils, feel free to do that. So we've got two different figures. Our first figure is a triangular prism. It has 5 total sides. So we're going to have 5 measurements. And we have a rectangular prism, 6 total sides, so we'll have 6 measurements. Let's start with our triangular prism, and let's get our calculator up here because, again, our key is to use real-world tools. And I'm going to outline each of the parts that we're doing. So here's the first part we're doing. We're doing this triangle. Now, the great thing about a triangular prism is that the triangles are identical. Doesn't matter what kind of triangles they are. These happen to be right triangles. They can be isosceles triangles. They could be equilateral. Whatever they are, they'll be the same at each end. So for that, let's give ourselves a little swatch of color there. For that, we have the base, 12, times the height, 16, divided by 2. 12 times 16 gives us 192 divided by 2, divide that by 2, and get 96. Please don't feel like you have to do these problems by hand. You're not going to impress anybody if you do this work by hand. Use the calculator so that your focus can be on the big concept, not on the computation. So that 96 is going to be added in twice, because it represents each of the triangles. And remember, we're looking for 5 total sides. So we're going to have 5 numbers up here that we add together. Okay, our next value is going to be this base. So this base is 12 by 18. Give ourselves a little, we're matching up against that part right there. And so we're going to have 12 by 18. And 12 times 18 gives us 216. So we're going to add in 216. Next, we're going to have the right side, the right face of this, if we're looking at it. And that right face, there's our swatch. That right face is is 18 by 20. So we're going to have 18 times 20. 18 times 20, that's 360. So we're going to be adding in 360. And finally, we're going to have this back side. Or depending on how you see it, you might even see it as the front. It's the left side. So let's call it the left face. So that left face, we know it's 16 high, and this is 18, so this has to be 18 meters. So it will be 16 by 18. So 16 times 18. 16 times 18 is 288. So we're going to add in the 288. So let's add them all together. We've got the 288. Well, let's clear it and start again. We have the 288 plus the 360 plus the 216 plus the 96 plus the 96. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, indeed. It comes out to be 1,056 squared meters. Okay, let's go ahead and look at our rectangular prism, our 6-sided rectangular prism. Now, the nice thing about a rectangular prism is even though there are more sides, they pair up. So when we do this rectangular prism and we do the front of it, we're also getting the back. So the front and the back. Let's give ourselves, there's our little color swatch. The front and the back are each 15 by 5. So 15 times 5 is 75. We can check that with the calculator. We don't want to make a, if we make a mistake here, it's going to follow us all the way through the problem. So 75 for the front and 75 for the back. Our next piece, let's do the top. So the top is the same as the bottom. And we can see the bottom is 5 by 25, so the top's also 5 by 25. So we're going to have 25 times 5, that's 125. 125 and another 125. And then finally, we are going to do the sides. So we have this side, and it's the same as that side. And for those sides, it's 25, and then we can see this is 15 tall. So we'll just put our 15 meters right there. So for our sides, we are going to have 25 times 15. So 25 times 15, that is 375. That will also appear 2 times. So we've got our 375 in. We need another 375. We need 125 and 125 and a 75 and a 75. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. It ends up being 1,150 meters squared. We can put our calculator away now. And we can see that our triangular prism at 1,056 meters squared is less than our rectangular prism at 1,050 meters squared. So there you go. Match that up with your test. You're going to see another surface area problem. So be sure you're giving yourself a chance to be as successful as possible. And if you have more questions, bring them to class.